In this video, I would like to show you how to use PearDeck. So as you can see, I am in a Google Slides presentation that I have created, and I would like to make this presentation interactive. So the first thing you do, you have to make sure that you go to add-ons and get add-ons. When you're here, you'll look for the PearDeck add-on. I have already installed mine. When you install it, you can go to add-ons, PearDeck for Google Slides add-on, and you can open the PearDeck add-on. It will open on the right-hand side of your screen. Let me walk you through this. There is a template library already created from PearDeck. They have pre-made slides that will get inserted into your presentation for the beginning of the lesson, during the lesson, and end of the lesson. So for example, if I wanted to pick one from the beginning of the lesson, I could scroll through and read all of them, and let's just insert this one. What did you learn from the homework? PearDeck works to select the slide and insert it into your presentation. As you can see, it made a new slide right here for me. You can say, it says students, write your responses. So this is a text one. Please feel free to look through any of the templates on the right-hand side. I do want to draw your attention. There's some for learning development, critical thinking, and social emotional learning. And then there's ones by subject areas. Let's choose math since that's the slideshow I'm working on today. I was really impressed with their pre-canned slides. So please check them out after this tutorial. So in addition to the template, they also have a place down here where you can ask students a question. So these things are unlike what I just did. This last one inserted a slide. This second band of things is actually going to add to slides that you already have. So if I start at slide 3, this one is a question where students actually have to type their answer. So I would choose in that manner a text. I want this slide to be a text box for the kids. As you can see, a little PearDeck bar will appear at the bottom, and it will explain what the slide is. So now I'm going to go to question 2. This one would be a multiple choice. I want this to be a multiple choice question. So you do have to think about before you make them. I'm just going to write A, B, or C. As you create your slides, you want to think about all the tools that PearDeck has to offer. So text, multiple choice. This number, I'm going to click on it. I've never used the number slide, but if you see a preview here, the students type a number in, and then the numbers are kind of shown in relation to each other. And the question here is, what do you think the population of China is? I'm not going to update this slide, but I did want to show you that that one is there if you're available. It's available. You can also insert a website into a PearDeck. So if I wanted to insert an article, this slideshow is on algebra. So if I wanted them to read a little bit more of it, you can insert a website for the kids to watch a video, read an article, and update the slide. Question 3, I actually want the kids to show me what they know. So you can make that a drawing slide. Question 4, I have 3 choices, and I actually am going to use the draggable so that the kids can drag an object to the right answer. And you can use a dot. You can change the dot's colors, or you can change it to any other thing that you would like for them to just simply drag. I'm going to pick a check mark, and I'm going to update the slide. Once your presentation has been PearDecked, it's time to present. So when you're ready to present, you actually present from the PearDeck sidebar, and you click Start Lesson. You have 2 choices. You can make it a student-paced activity where the kids go through at their own pace, or you can do an instruction-paced activity. You can always change this. I'm going to show you an instructor-paced activity first. You can pick your school account. And the presentation will be launched. You could even do this over a Google Meet. Kids can type in joinpd.com, and then they will be presented with a place to put a password, and they would put this in. So I'm going to try to do this in 2 different accounts so you can see the teacher view and the student view. So I'm going to enter the code RRLDO. Okay, how am I feeling today? I'm super happy. Easter was great yesterday. And the presentation will be loaded for the students. As you can see, I cannot click anywhere to go forward. The teacher is the only one that can advance in instructor pace mode. So I'm going to go back to my teacher paced one. I'm going to see here that I have 1 student connected. You can invite a Google Classroom, give students a link. Okay, so I'm going to start my class. As you can see, I am the only one right here, okay, that can advance my slides. So what did you learn from your homework? If I go over to the student paced one, they are going to have a bulb here that you can write. They don't have to hit enter or anything. As soon as they type in the box, it's picked up for the teacher. If I go back to the teacher slideshow here, I'm going to see that I have a button to show responses. You also have a button that locks student screens. So if you look at the student view, it tells them your teacher has locked responses for this slide. At this time, I can show responses to the kids, and you have 3 different ways to show them. Since I only have 1, this will be tricky, but you can show a list layout, you could do a grid layout, and when you have more than 1 response, you'll have a 3rd option, which is an overlay, where all of the students' answers are on top of one another. I think that's a really good one if you are like a social studies teacher and you want them to circle a part of the world that's important, then make sure they're all circling the same spot. When you're done presenting, you can hide responses and unlock the screen to go to the next slide. This was also a text one, so if you see on the student view, they will get a response right there, and they can write it. For a multiple choice, it looks like this on the side, and they get to select which one. The next one is the drawing feature, okay? So on the student slideshow, it's going to look like this. They have a pencil option, they have a sizer, they have a highlighter, a line tool, a text tool. I'm going to use my pencil tool. I have a touchscreen Chromebook. So I am going to just do 12 times 12. If you have a stylus at home, you're probably doing a little bit better than me. But if you notice, the kids can draw right here. If they don't have a touchscreen, it's really not a loss. You can use your mouse, or you can do text, which is still really cool in this time where we're home. I'm going to show you what it looks like with me using my mouse, which is really funny. I think I'm much better with the mouse than I am the touchscreen. Kids do have an undo button right here, so if they want to undo or if they want to clear their whole screen of annotations. Over on the teacher view, if I lock the screen and show the responses, you will be able to scroll through and see who is who, and go through that way. In your presentation mode, you won't be able to see the names of students here, but when you are done and you end the session, you will be. So I'm going to unlock the screen, hide responses. The next question we did was a draggable. So on the student screen, they are going to get this check mark, and they actually have to move the check mark right to the correct answer. I think that's super cool. It's very powerful when you see a whole bunch of check marks moved. A couple other features that I really like. If you are meeting with kids or having such a great discussion and that you think of a question and you didn't put it in your slideshow, you can go to New Prompt and you can kind of pick which one you want to insert. They have their pre-canned ones. Or you can use a text one, a draggable, a drawing, or a number. Okay, so if you want them to you want to ask a question out loud and you want them to write about it, you would search text. Really cool that you can add questions on the fly. Another thing is you can come to these three dots right here and you can turn on student pace mode. This is the easiest way, I think, to turn on student pace mode. You can highlight this URL right here and send it to Google Classroom. And then the kids can go through the slideshow at their own pace. You don't have to be there, but you will still collect all of their great data from that. We also inserted a website into our PearDeck, and I just wanted to show you what it looked like. So the directions show up on the left-hand side, and the article shows up for the students on the right-hand side. Also in student pace mode, really great way to give some instructions and something over here on the side. I really, really like that. On the presentation screen, I'd like to just show you a couple more things. Over here is the icon slide deck. So if you open it up, you can see all of your slides in your presentation. And if you want to jump back to one quickly, to show the students, you can click that right there. When you think you're done presenting, you can end the session. It will give you a chance to save it. I am going to publish student takeaways. This is a publishing of the notes that a student took during the PearDeck, and I'm going to save and end the session. The thing that's really cool is the link is the same for all the kids in your class. However, every kid that clicks on the link will get a different version of it. It's whatever they wrote in your PearDeck, and you can share it right to Classroom. It's a great note-taking strategy. So now I'm going to return to Google Slides, and it's kicked me out of PearDeck altogether. So you might be wondering, where do I get all of the stuff that PearDeck just saw, that I just collected on my students? You are going to go to PearDeck.com. So when you go to PearDeck.com, you will be able to see the work that your kids did. Once you get here, let's click on Sessions. What you're going to notice is that the session that I just finished and closed is up on the top. I'm going to open the teacher dashboard view for you first. When you're here, for every slide, you can see the name of the person and what they selected. Once you hover over the multiple choice, it'll give you a list. You can do that for everything: drawing, text, dots, the check mark right here. If I click over it, I can see. So that's the first place I would go to see some of the student work. On these three vertical dots here, you can also do a couple of things. You can reopen the session, rename it, archive it, get a link to share for takeaways, or export all results to a Google Sheet. This way, you can see what time it was completed, who completed, and all of the answers that they wrote to the slideshow.